Hello and welcome fellow strategy gamers. You can call me Lucadim, and today in Victoria 3 I'm going to show you how to become an economic superpower in a few decades with this Empire of Brazil guide. My goal is to help you make just the first few steps, how to industrialize a subsistent farm-based country, leveraging your population, raw resources and politics. This guide is focused on Brazil's 1836 start, but many of its methods can be used by any country you want. As Victoria 3 is in its infancy and have a fair share of problems to fix, many changes will probably be made to how the game functions in the future, especially in areas like diplomacy and warfare. So, I will try to focus on the base gameplay loop of buildings, technology and resource management. And why Brazil, you may ask? Brazil is very easy: big population, most resources for industrialization, a healthy distance from those pesky European empires, and a brilliant reformer for an emperor. An ideal country for you to learn the game. Brazil starts in a very interesting situation in 1836, civil war on both north and south, a kid in the throne, and slavery. First, let's deal with these insurrections. Mobilize all your generals and conscripts, send one to each front. They may start losing, but as more and more troops start coming in, they will be no match and both wars should be a cakewalk. Then we have one of the most important aspects to increase growth in this game, the construction sector. It is the one that will be directing what your country produces and what kind of jobs your pops have. Let's use iron frame buildings and build 2 more. Also queue up some iron mines, as they will be the raw resource most important for this construction sector technology. As we are a monarchy, we will use our excess authority to tax some rich people stuff, like luxury clothes and furniture, decrease spending of government and military wages, use road maintenance to increase market access in Minas Gerais, and encourage resource industry where our iron mines will be built. Also, always improve relations with the great powers when you can. For technology, we want to go for railways ASAP, so that we can get rid of the market access debuff, and will help us industrialize that much faster. In the politics tab, we want to make sure that intelligentsia and industrialists are included in government. As for laws, we want to pass the ones that remove power from groups like the landowners, so that in the future they won't try to stop our march toward progress. Dedicated police force is an excellent one to start, as it directly removes their political strength. Before finally unpausing, don't forget to make sure your troops have access to all they need in battle. In this case, we are lacking some small arms. Importing stuff you don't produce inside your own country is very useful, especially in the early game, when you don't manufacture everything. For some better visualization, I recommend using the view list in the buildings tab inside the state, and in the outliner, pinning states and the national market. Now let's talk about the all-important buildings tab, where you will spend a lot of time and is vital to the functioning of your country. Here, you will see up to 4 distinct production methods, each one controlling a different aspect of that building that can later be upgraded with technology research. Textile mills are a good example, as they have all of them. The light brown means base production. In this case, a level 1 textile mill will produce 45 units of clothes and use 40 of fabric. To operate then, the state will need 4,500 laborers. When we unlock the lathe technology, we can change the base production to dye workshops. That will grant the building plus 15 production of clothes, totaling 60. But then it will require also 40 units of dyes. Generally, upgrading the base production method is always advised because will lead to more efficiency in making or extracting a good, but be aware, there are a lot of situations where you don't want to upgrade. For example, not having dyes productions inside your country, or the base good, in this case cloth, already being too cheap. So increasing the amount would result in less profit and even in some cases some workers being fired. And trust me, you don't want angry workers protesting and becoming radicals, asking for some type of workers' right, that type of bullshit fantasy only they can dream. As a rule of thumb, most goods inside your market ideally should be around -30 to +30% price, with some exceptions. The purple one means luxury production. If that is selected, we will trade off some of the productions to clothes into luxury clothes that are sold at higher prices, but also will need other goods, in this case, silk. Early on in this game, and depending on the nation you are playing, most of your pops will be poor, so luxury items are not a priority. But when you start growing and as your populations become increasingly wealthier, these luxury building chains can make huge profits. The green one is related to automation/transport. This basically reduces the amount of workers needed to make the same amount of goods at the cost of tools, electricity, engines, etc. This is extremely useful if you have a small population, but also a bigger one, as you can free your workers to be employed elsewhere and produce other goods. The blue one means who owns/runs the place, and it can go from medieval style merchant guilds to publicly traded capitalist market into communist style workers cooperative, and even government run. This one is a little bit tricky and depends a lot on your political laws and will influence how much money you can extract from that building. For example, if it is privately owned, it means capitalist pops will bear all of its profits and losses. Depending on your economic system, some of that profit will come back to you as dividends in the investment pool. Then we go for atmospheric engine and mechanical tools. Both are necessary to research railways. With the end of the Ragamuffin War, we just send the now idle general to the other front line. We will get this special event, just integrate them. Peace, for now at least. After constructing around 5 iron mines, we want to now focus on 2 workshops. Tools are one of the most useful goods in this game. Almost every single type of building will use them in the future. Very important, every single event that happens you want to suppress or minimize the landowners and be on the good graces of the intelligentsia. Now that we have the lathes technology, we can upgrade our base furniture manufacturing. With the use of tools, now they will be able to produce much more chairs to make even more profit. Sadly, we got very unlucky trying to enact the dedicated police force law. Not a problem, let's cancel it and try to abolish slavery. The landowners will not be very happy and could even try to make another civil war. But as long as their radicalism don't go over 100, we should be fine. Another good advice I would give you is to import the stuff your pops need to survive but you don't produce enough. For example, as we spend most of our time focusing so much in iron mines, coal deposits and tool manufacturers, we won't meet their needs in regards to grains, liquor and other stuff. So importing them will be cheaper and will satisfy their needs so that they don't revolt. With atmospheric engine unlocked, our capacity to extract mining resources will increase exponentially. But we'll need coal, like a lot. You know, coal was so important to industrialization. Have you ever wondered how they say it in other languages? Let me ask these guys. Carbone. Sekitan. Mei. Charbon. Germany? Kohle. Now that we unlocked mechanical tools, steel enters the game, as we can upgrade our base tools production, but for that we need some brand new buildings. I will also queue up some army industries. Pacifism is cool and all, but doesn't grant you sulfur. Yes, sulfur. Sulfur is to your agriculture and mines what coal is to your industry. With the use of fertilizers, the output of ranches and farms will see a great increase. Same with explosives. At the cost of some poor lives, our iron mines will be very productive. All this thanks to chemical plants that can output both explosives and fertilizers. With slavery banned, we not only removed clout and political power from the landowners, we also gained a huge number of pups that will be available to work, get educated, and most importantly, pay taxes. Let's try a dedicated police force.
Oh shit, here we go again.
With railways available, you won't start producing engines, as they are the good needed to run them, and oh boy, we need railways. As more and more factories are being built inside your country, the infrastructure capacity of states will be exceeded. That means the good produced inside a given state won't be able to reach the rest of your market, and you definitely don't want that. As you'll be industrializing, a bunch of events related to throughput will start to appear. I recommend picking the one that gives research points. War is looming, so I'll focus on military tech. Percussion cap will enable us to build a munition plant to support our skirmish infantry. With munition plants online, we can go for the general staff technology. Pay attention. When changing the templates of your military units, they will receive a -75 debuff called Equipment Adjustment. So changing mid-war is a big no. I will also build a bunch of new barracks, just to make sure we have every single advantage in our side. The target will be Bolivia, to extract those sweet sulfur mines in the state of Antofagasta. They are a puppet of Peru, but apart from that they have no alliances. After General Staff, we'll come back to the Production tab and pick Intensive Agriculture. This will increase your output of farms by a lot. With all preparations ready, let's go to war. Click directly in the state you want to conquer, and a diplomatic play will begin. But we do not want only a small state alone and excluded from the rest of your country. I will add some war goals for provinces to make a line into the sulfur mines. Don't forget to mobilize and send your generals to the front line. War! They got some allies, Peru as expected, but also Ecuador. And Denmark? Is this a real country? As you can see, my expenditure of military wages and goods have gone through the roof. Having a healthy economy and some bank to spare is necessary to start a war in this game, otherwise things can easily spiral out of control.
shit. Here we go again.
With the war ended, we want to start the process to incorporate these states and build some railways. Just in time. Next one will be nitroglycerin. With sulfur mines we can start building chemical plants. Also, don't forget to build gold mines. They are basically free money and will be discovered randomly in the states of Minas Gerais, so from time to time keep checking if another one is available. As you can see, with a few laws passed we managed to decrease the landowners' clout by half of what they had at the start of the game. Now that the majority is not in their hands, we should focus on two laws that will be essential for attracting immigrants and are quite OP in these early versions of Victoria 3, which is no immigration controls and multiculturalism. In this game, I focused on the betterment of my own population, enacting public schools. They will increase the literacy of your population at a fast rate and in turn making more research points for you. When enacting these laws, you can easily gain a huge amount of immigrants from the entire world. But be aware, if conditions inside your country deteriorates and quality of life falls too much, you will be the one losing population. Our GDP is already increasing at a fast pace and surpass many European powers. We already have gone through everything you need to become number one, but the real growth will come when these immigrants start arriving. From here on out, you can do a lot of things differently. The choice is yours. Want to fight more South American countries to transform yourself into being the hegemon of the Southern Hemisphere, or colonize Africa and extract even more resources. For example, in this game I also conquered Chile. They have even more sulfur and gold mines. You may not like these borders, they can even be called ugly, but this is what big Brazil looks like. I don't want to extend and explain every single decision I make. In the end, Paradox's games are the most fun when you are struggling trying to understand what the hell is going on. And that fun, I let you experience yourself. I want to thank everyone who made this far. Making videos is a lot of hard work and takes some precious time, and as you can probably guess, I don't receive nothing for it. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more, and don't be afraid to comment any suggestion you may have. I am Lucadim and see you later. Obrigado e até mais. Carvão!